Good morning, Washington. Happy Monday to everybody. It's the 14th of November, 2011, here on DCR TV, your source for DC. Look at the camera, Dave. Your source for DC and Baltimore media news, gossip, memories. There isn't any other site or any other source or anybody really that's doing what we're doing, and that is giving you sort of a museum, cyber museum of cool DC and Baltimore radio, TV, and media memories. And nobody else really does that. We're the only people that do that. And, we don't make a lot of money here. But, we do sell some ads on the website, which are great. But your donations mean a lot. They really, really do. And you don't know that, but a $5, $10, donation, $20, $29 for access to DCR TV Plus really means a lot. And don't forget, if you visited our site, a couple times in the last month or so and haven't ponied up some bucks lately, please do so. Okay, you can just PayPal it to my DCRTV at hotmail.com. That's DCRTV at hotmail.com address, or you can plop a check in the mail. Just click on the support tab there at the top of DCR TV, and it will give you the address and everything you need to know about that. Thanks a lot to all the fine folks that have helped donate to the site. We don't have a parent. We don't have Media Bistro with a Post or Huffington Post or Patch or anybody that's supporting it. We are a totally independent site. One man, me, allegedly a man, but they call you a man anyhow. So. Whatever. All right, folks. We're going to do a little bit of a flashback memory today. Really cool. This was Channel 4's 25th anniversary show. Oh, I forget the year it came out. A number of years ago, back in the mid-90s or something like that. And this was the section that the late, great George Michael did on sports changes at WRC television over the years. So check this out.
One of those people. The torch arrived in D.C. just before 3 o'clock. Television began carrying baseball games almost before it could broadcast a clear picture. But the idea of a regular sports report, well, that took a little bit longer. Our first sports report here on Channel 4 was broadcast in 1951. That's 4 years after we went on the air. Now, at first, we didn't give you much more than just the scores. But boy, how things have changed. This is the exciting face of sports today. But kill the color, kill a few extra camera angles, and you're back to the days when TV sports coverage just wasn't all that gripping.
Steffen's touchdown run with an intercepted pass is the longest in Redskin history.
Early sports reporters had it rough. Technology was primitive. Hey, it was just enough to get on the air. Never mind what the set looked like.
Jim Gibbons brings viewers up to date on sports just before the Huntley-Brinkley Report.
Jim Gibbons used to do the sports standing up next to the fireplace. There was a fireplace with an armchair, and he'd do sports.
The 60s and 70s brought changes and more cameras on the scene. We brought you much closer to the action.
It's a strange way to wind up Major League Baseball in the nation's capital.
The pictures were better, and we brought you a wider range of stories and commentary.
Okay, at Wimbledon, the rains really came down, but they finally had the teenagers.
This man, the man behind me, is not laughing. That's Billy Kilmer. Thursday night, and that's time for bloopers.
This was only a taste of what we had in store for you in the 80s, when we really liberated the art of sportscasting.
Welcome to the Sunday Night Sports Machine.
As often as possible, we like to get real about sports, to show the human side. Jim Abbott was born without a right hand. To compensate, he quickly shifts his glove over to his left hand. He's ready to field at all times. We also learned how to have fun with sports on the air.
They say everyone's always talking about the weather, but not on early television.
All right, folks. So there we go. There, we'll get to that Bob Ryan bit a little bit later, back when we're in a future episode of Dave TV. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you that was from Channel 4, WRC's 50th anniversary show. When was that done? Did I write that down there? 1997. Okay, so that show's already about that. You know what? That show is as old as DCR TV is. DCR TV started in 1997, and that show is from 1997, so they're both 14 years old. So that was 14 years ago on WRC, the 50th anniversary, which makes Channel 4, let's see, 14 and 50 of the 64. God, I guess they're getting letters from AARP, huh? All right, it's interesting to see, though, how local sports coverage is changing on television these days. You know, just up on the website, just a day or two ago, we linked to an article there from Dan Steinberg over at the DC Sportsbog, where he is saying, you know, Brett Haber announced that he was leaving the top sports anchor position at Channel 9 back in August. And, you know, he left, and he's, you know, now writing for Washingtonian and doing Tennis Channel coverage. But, you know, Channel 9 really hasn't announced an official replacement for him. They do have a sports department, and they do have sports reporters and anchors, but there's no official sports, you know, it's like, you know, in the olden days, or even today, just many degrees, you know, you have the top anchors. You know, Channel 4 has Jim Vance and Doreen Gensler and all that, you know, and you have a top sportscaster like, you know, Tim Brand over there on Channel 9 or something. And then you have a top weather guy like Doug Hill or, you know, somebody like that. You know, you're seeing less and less of that. That superstar status seems to be going away. And, you know, stations are saying we don't really need to have a top sports anchor anymore. You know, we really don't need to have a top weather guy. We'll just, you know, we have some good people. We'll mix them in. But, you know, to have that superstar kind of top team status, you're seeing that kind of going away. And I think part of the reason, and it's been, you know, written up many times, and the fact is that, you know, many people now don't go to local TV for sports anymore, even when they want, you know, the local broadcast stations. You know, we have Comcast Sportsnet, which is a local, you know, if you have Masson, you have local sports channels like that where people can go and get sports anytime they want to. They don't have to wait till the 6 o'clock news. You got websites, you got the Post, you got sports websites, you know, you got local TV station sports websites, you got SB Nation, you got all these things. You got Sports Talk Radio, you know, 2 of them in Washington, like 3 or 4 of them in Baltimore. So there's so much sports. You got ESPN, of course. You got so much sports coming at you 24/7 that people say, you know, there really isn't much of a need, even locally, to say, oh, I got to watch, you know, George Michael or Glenn Brenner tonight on the local doing his, you know, 5-minute news or 5-minute sportscast. It's changing rapidly, and I think TV stations are responding to that, you know, and they're saying we really don't need that high pressure, high power, you know, big sports anchor, you know. And I think the days of, you know, the George Michaels and the Glenn Brenners and stuff are kind of passing. You know, you're the great guys and entertainers, you know, superior entertainers both. You know, the day of that kind of, you know, bring them all in, let's entertain them all sportscast is, at least on local television, kind of a thing of the past these days. Anyhow, interesting to look at the Channel 4 50th anniversary show. We've been showing some of it in the past, and we'll show more of it in the future. We'll show that Bob Ryan segment on the future of weathercasting coming up in a future Dave TV. All right, that's Dave TV for today, the 14th of November, 2011. Thanks for watching. And again, don't forget, you know, if you've come by the site a couple times a week and you haven't coughed up a little bit of money, yeah, $5, $10, $20, pop a check in the mail, make a PayPal payment. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you all. Thanks for your support. 14 years, going on our 15th year here at DCR TV, the Washington and Baltimore's best source of local media news, gossip, and whatever else. Thanks for watching. Cut. Pray!